I was thinking this morning about those of you who say you want custody of your children, and yet at the same time you say, I cannot afford custody. I don't have the money to look after my children. And I start to wonder, why would you want custody of children when you know that you cannot look after them financially? Then you tell me that I'm a better parent because I know how to understand and I know how to look after children better. Maybe. It's not for me to say who is the better parent. But then I went on thinking, and I thought, what about if you take a strategy, especially those of you who use the Bible to do everything, justify everything that you do? When Moses wanted to leave the promised land, when he wanted to take his leave, or rather, when the children of Israel wanted to take their leave of Egypt into their promised land, what did they do? First of all, they had a plan. They had a desire. And that desire was to leave Egypt and to leave slavery. So they had a desire. Then, of course, they then had a plan. Their plan was to talk to Pharaoh. But before then, I am sure that they sat down together and they planned how they would pack their things, what their wives would do, how their wives would look after the children, how they would have community spirit when they go. And then they now went to Pharaoh and they said, let my people go. We know the story. But Pharaoh would not let them go because Pharaoh had the grapes, the lemons, the food that they liked, that they were used to. They were not sure what they would find in the promised land. So they had nothing. But yet, they had their plan. They had their desire. And because of their desire, they sat down and they planned. Now, let me tell you, for those of you who think that those 10 calamities that fell on Egypt, maybe you think that they fell in 10 days. No. They probably fell over time. Indeed, we are told that they were in slavery for 400 years, and then suddenly there was a story about 30 years. So we do not know how long it took for Moses how long each of those calamities took. But we do know that it was all working a purpose. It was all for them to plan. It was all for them to understand what they were going to meet or what they would not meet when they were going. Now they left. Pharaoh ran after them, but they won. They won because they had a plan with God. So who do you have a plan with? Who is your accountability partner? Who is your divorce team? Who is part of your custody team? Who you are going to talk about your finances with? Who you are going to talk about your emotional needs with? Who? Do you have any such person yet? Because you say you don't have anything, but there are certain things that you need that even money does not buy. And then, of course, they then went into the wilderness, and you know what happened. The children of Israel complained and cursed and complained and cursed. They didn't have water. They didn't have food. They only had manna. It was boring. That is how your children will complain, especially if you don't have money. What are you ready? What is your backup plan? So let's leave the story of Moses for a while. Let's talk about custody of children. When you are going to have custody of children, when you ask for custody of children, you must assume that the other parent is not going to contribute anything. Because in that story, Pharaoh did not contribute anything. He did not bring them water in the wilderness. So you must assume that that other parent will pursue, but he will not provide anything, or he may not provide anything. So once again, let me ask you, when you say you want custody of your children and you do not have anything, what do you have? How are you planning? What is your strategy? What is your backup plan in case things do not work out the way you hope? How are you working towards those things that will be comfortable for your children? Because I will be the last person to say to you, you should take those children out of the comfort they know. Now, if you believe that you are the only one who can look after your children, maybe you need some counseling so that you do not leave and you stay there. You build that relationship, you build that family for the benefit of your children and for the benefit of your own peace of mind. If you are that kind of person, get in touch. My name is Sisi Lawyer. I'm a divorce coach, and I help people get clarity about what they want to do and how they want to do it.